if you missed our last Young Entrepreneur Show last month, it was the most fun we had. We laughed so hard. And that's because of our fun guest, Mr. Dylan Cucceraldo. Cucceraldo is very Italian. How do you say it? Cucceraldo?
Cucceraldo.
Cucceraldo.
Said it was
sorry.
okay.
Take it over.
Hey guys, hello. How we doing? Welcome to my show. No, I'm just kidding. All right, what's up? So I'm here with
Bella Young.
and
Devin.
yeah, we're here.
So tell us, what do you do, Dylan? Go ahead
So-
and tell us again.
I sell clothes. I actually have a pop-up tomorrow, and I had a pop-up on Sunday in Del Rey, and I'm crushing it.
So for those who haven't seen the show last month, Dylan creates apparel. We're not going to say what the name actually is, but you could read it there. It's kind of blanked out, and go ahead really fast. Yep,
What's
there
up?
you go.
What's up? What's
What's
up?
up? So he has, I think you got shorts, you got socks.
Yeah. So I actually just made short shorts for women.
Short
No, for real,
shorts.
they love them. Like
Short shorts.
Yeah, they're so cute. They're like to hear. And then I was trying to get people to model for them, but I just modeled for it and then I posted it. But then I kind of got some backlash. So I had to like delete it real quick, and then I got my friend to model. But yeah, a lot of people like those.
Good. Well, I'm glad that you're expanding like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's added a new line since
You
we
just
last
added,
spoke.
yeah, since the you added a new line.
Yeah, I
besides
did
the
like
socks and the,
sweatpants shorts for the summer and like little like shorter shorts too.
that is excellent.
Thank you.
I'm just love that you're crushing it, like you always said. And we have Bella Young. Tell us, Bella, what do you do?
Hi, my name is Bella Young, and I'm a creative. I work for Broward College right now, and there I'm learning so much. I'm able to fixate on my skills and better myself for my passion, which is interviewing young creatives, actually. Right now, I have a passion with interviewing people from all work fields, and discussing with them what the importance of networking is, the importance of mental health, and how mental health has affected them, especially in the creative atmosphere. As an artist, we get a lot of backlash from the older generations, our parents, media, our own colleagues and friends. So that plays a big role in trying to pursue something that's really meaningful for you, doing meaningful work. So I wanted to touch base on that in my YouTube and shed light to everyone.
What does creative mean? What does that encompass?
That could be any field, whether it be you're an artist, painter-wise. I've interviewed a fantastic painter, even someone that does apparel. Like, that is a creative. I see that he works on his iPad creating different designs, and what if his clothes don't sell? Like, how does that affect his mental health? Good thing he's crushing it, but
Yeah, no, she brought that up to me one time, and I didn't even take that into like consideration. She was like, "Oh, how's your mental?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then she's like, "How do you feel when you don't sell something or stuff like that?" And I was like, "Oh my God, someone cares." But it was cool to kind of see that aspect, that people, like, we think of that sometimes, and to see other people also can see, oh, you kind of feel whole, you know. You also, because when you like create so much and you're doing so much to yourself, you kind of feel like sometimes it's just you against everyone else, which is fine, but then it's also cool that like there's a human side to it as well.
You know, I kind of love that you brought that up, because as a serial entrepreneur that I've been my whole life, yes, there are moments I feel like I'm going to lose it, because it's not the 9-to-5 job. If I don't get up, if I don't do it, it doesn't get done, and the money is not coming unless I'm totally crushing it, like Dylan says. And there are moments that I do feel like that's it. I give up. And poor Nandine, who's just been working with me just for the last few months, have seen me just do 1 minute I'm here and the other minute, and it's like there's moments I'm this girl, and then there's moments I'm like, nobody call me, don't talk to me. I'm hibernating for 3-4 days. I can't talk to no one. And you're right, I never thought about it from that point of view. And oh my goodness, how much help do we need in that department for many of us? Because it does get stressful, wondering, am I gonna make the money this month to pay these bills? And you know, and this is kind of why you guys still live with the parents at this age. And there's nothing wrong with that, believe me. I mean, we're Caribbean people. That's normal in our lives. Like it's here in the U.S., I guess it's a big deal to us. It's like, no one leaves. It's like 3-4 generations in one house.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thank you for bringing that up. And definitely, we'd love to hear some more about the interviews you go into. And I just want to acknowledge Mr. Devin Anderson. Do you want to tell us who you are and what you do? Is the mic on?
Hello, everyone. My name is Devin Anderson, and yes, I'm not an entrepreneur as of yet, but at this present moment, I'm in the security field. So my source of information, really, even to the younger generation, is as far as those who are seeking employment instead of going on their own, some tips that I've noticed when I do process of hiring an interview and the younger generation that's coming in for jobs and they're not prepared for the questions that's going to come forth, or even to do a little homework about the person of the organization in which they're seeking employment. That's a big plus when you're being interviewed and asking questions. You need to ask back your interviewer questions about the company themselves, which you already might have known the answers to. So you create a dialogue during interviewing.
But don't you think this is part, again, this goes back to our education? Like, shouldn't this be a very, like, essential part of you're leaving school? You need to know how to attend an interview, what to answer, how to do resume. Like, that should be part of the education. Why is that not part of an education? And last time also, Dylan also brought it up. You know, we asked them, well, what do you think is missing in college right now? And it's the same thing, how to run a business, how to be an entrepreneur, how to deal with your finances, how to just live life. I mean, there's so much that happens. It's like we take these kids and we're like, go to college, and then college finish, and we go figure it out. It's like, it makes no sense, right?
Correct. I totally agree with what you just said, Karina, because on both aspects, at some point you have to sell yourself or you sell your product. So you have to know how to market yourself as well as your product. And initially, your appearance says a lot about you before you even say one word out of your mouth. Because when I'm doing interviews and someone walk in, I'm looking them up and down before they even open their mouth to start speaking. And yes, these traits as far as how to properly conduct yourself through an interview can also be taught in schools. They could have curriculum where do mock drills. It's those who don't want to be entrepreneur but want to go in the corporate world. Because I'm also, you know, I'm affiliated with the corporate security at a five diamond resort, which is top in the world. And the standards are set so high that a lot of interviewees don't make it through the first phase. And we're asking ourselves, why is this? They're coming through the door, but they're not prepared, and it's not for us to prepare them.
No, it's not for you to prepare them, but neither did school prepare them, because that's the whole point of school, to prepare them to go into the job market. You know, we're coming from the industrial area, and here's where the real problem with education is, and oh my goodness, don't get me started. The real problem with education is that we're still stuck in the industrial area, where we're creating kids to be standing in a conveyor belt, you know, make the Ford cars, and it was conveyor belt. That's all education is based on, and it's still based on that. And we have bypassed that. We've gone through the information age. We're in the internet age, and we're not teaching them this stuff, what they need to know now as in this information technology age that we're in. We're not conveyor kids. These are not conveyor kids at all. They're creative, like you said, they're entrepreneurs, they're self-thinkers, they'll figure it out. They'll go on Google, YouTube, whatever they have to do. They will figure it out. They'll say, yes, I'll figure it out, whether they know it or not. And you gotta love that kind of passion. And you gotta love that they are willing to put themselves out there. The thing is, what can we do to support them? Go ahead, Rayna.
Excuse me, are we talking about high school or are we talking about college?
It doesn't matter. Any school.
I happen to disagree because I did get my bachelor's at UCF and they actually had a lot of mock interviews and they had us do more. They had opportunities for us to critique our resumes. They had opportunities to do mock interviews, which was big because I had 3 classes. I was fortunate for my major. I graduated with a bachelor's in science, industrial organizational psychology, which is all about interviewing, HR, like how to present yourself, how to walk into a building and do your little elevator pitch, who you are. Here, it's been a while since I did an elevator pitch, so saying who I was like, whoa, I'm back to college, but it's as much as it's important to learn it, it's important to practice it. Everyone can teach you. You can learn on a YouTube video, but not until you go out there, do a couple of interviews. You won't. School can only do so much. It's what you take out of it that gets you somewhere.
In general, but Hassan mentioned the last time that you were here, you mentioned that you did a degree in finance. But for those who didn't do a degree in finance, for someone who did not do a degree in marketing, you understand? So even though whatever degree you do, you still have to sell yourself, like Devin said. You still have to sell yourself to get a job, to whatever you do.
Well,
me sitting here, I got to sell myself to be here, to have my viewers watch me. We're constantly selling.
Yeah, I do believe they should talk about it more in high school, but as soon as you get to college, you take a course called SLS. I know they offer it at UCF, they offer it at Broward College, and it is to improve your resume and get yourself out there, understand that there are opportunities, whether they be clubs, internships, or jobs. So it's just what those students take out of it.
Right. So I'm going to jump back to like Dylan and Sergio and did you finish college? Because no, not everybody wants to go to college. So what happened to, you understand? So it's either do we start younger, do we start in high school preparing them? Because we're at this point where college is this really touchy place now because these kids, you find everything online. So how do we do that, Sergio? You want to put your 2 words in there?
No, yeah. I definitely see what you're saying, Bella. Like, if you do go into like a field that you would have those type of classes, then yeah, you might learn something about it. Or like, as a business degree, you might learn something about finances. But not everybody learns that stuff. So I do think, yeah, I think they should start earlier, because there's a lot of classes that we do take in high school that maybe we might not need.
Yeah.
That is really true.
No, which strategy to college success? That makes no sense. No, with the interview thing, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. I just went to random interviews. I didn't even want the job, but just to like kind of like interview myself and see what the people. And I would mess with the people. They'd be like, "You're hired." I was like, "Yo, I don't even want it." That was cool. It happened at a couple restaurants. They were like, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And I was like, "Not working here." And I would just dip. But yeah, no, interviewing's fun. Like I feel like if you're just confident with yourself, you can do whatever you want. Like blind confidence, that's all you need. And then with the questions, the one thing that sticks out the most that I've done is when they're like, "Do you have any questions for me?" I was like, "What can I improve on, or what am I lacking?" And then they hit you with that, and then they're like, "Oh my God, he wants to get better. He wants to self-improve." So yeah, I just feel like little stuff like that people normally don't ask. You gotta, get yourself out there. This is off topic, but would you hire me for security?
Well, I would have to sit you down and receive questions that I have.
Okay.
And you just gave the clue of your approach. But I would
All right, so that doesn't work no more. So
I just love it. I love
there's
it.
no surprise no more. But you then just had an interview for Sephora. Would you like to share that with us?
Yes. She was asking me questions like, what are my strengths? What are my disadvantages?
And what did you say? What did you say were your weaknesses?
I said math and if I don't have a schedule, I'll go crazy. Like I
Right.
always have to be structured. Like always have to have something to do.
Right.
Which both points, I mean, first of all, math, you don't need math for makeup.
Yeah.
And then not being able to have your own schedule, I think that would be a positive for you in that workplace because they would provide a schedule for you.
Yeah.
And they would welcome somebody who wants that schedule. So, well done.
Is there going to be any ongoing training with them once you go to work with them?
She did say that if I do get like picked, there will be like a second interview, like for like more further like seeing, I guess.
So they're going to interview you a second time?
Yeah, like if I make it past the first step.
Okay.
Past the first step.
Okay, so you're still in the interview phase.
Yes.
Are you feeling you'd be more comfortable in the second phase?
Yes.
Oh, good. Or else we'd have to hook you up with Mr. Dillon back
Yes,
there.
absolutely.
Use the word adaptive. They love it.
What word?
Adaptive. Be like, I'm very adaptive to certain things. And then you're like, feel like,
Actually, I did learn that a lot of keywords are important in any job. You have to research your job before you go. Use their quote unquote like models or what is it? Their mission
their
statement.
mission statement.
Yeah, and incorporate that in your interview. That's how you
There
get it.
you go.
Research, research, research.
Research.
Say
That's
again
good.
the benefits of having
What?
the
I
internet.
didn't hear you.
No, that's smart. I was just saying that's smart.
That's fair. Well, it is. Everything is, it's like Google. You got to find the keywords to find, to get the algorithm
Tell
to
them
become
exactly what they want to hear.
to tell them what they want to hear. Yeah.
Honestly, going back to school though, some people are not built, especially the older generation, to just go out there and be proactive and research, go on YouTube, figure out what they need to do. So school can be beneficial for people like me. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and having that structure like you needed was good for me because I needed structure. I needed to kind of have like, oh, I need to do this assignment, I need to read this chapter, because it kept me focused and it helped me maintain that discipline in my life right now to have a structure.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good point because I found when a lot of people graduate high school and they're not in school anymore, they just all willy-nilly. They don't have that structure like you said. So that's actually a really good point.
That's a very good point. And we do need structure. You have to, because if not, you wake up every day and you have what am I going to do? And then you wonder why you're not moving forward. But that's because you don't have a system in place. We all need a system in place.
It's crazy because once you graduate high school, they literally just throw you in the world and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Which is what Karina was saying.
That's
yes.
that's
Yeah.
the point I'm making. So, I mean, lucky for you guys, somewhere back there, you probably already started a lot of what you're doing while you were still in school, because you now have podcast and YouTube and all of this influencer chit chat and I don't know all of this stuff you guys still using, but you guys still already got started with something, whatever that something was. Nick, you mentioned you have a podcast. What's your podcast about?
So I mean, we really just bring in friends of ours, different interests. Some own businesses, some, one person we brought on was a political organizer himself. And really just kind of pick everyone's brain. I mean, it can be all over the place in terms of like topics we're covering.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, like it's really just to like bring different ideas, opinions, whatever I'm thinking or Dylan's thinking. Like, it's really just to like say what we want to say and bring people in to talk about what they do.
Okay, so now let's take this now into, you're doing what you're doing now. Are you guys seeing this at some point of turning this into an actual small business venture? And if that's the deal, what does that look like for you?
it better. I'm too far. I'm deep in this game.
Yeah, I was
With,
about
the
to say.
building thing. Like, it has to happen. If it doesn't, I'm gonna cry. But it's pretty good. I'm very like structural. Like with like the money I make, like I just write it all down. So it's doing good. Like profiting. So it's kind of like I'm taking my time with it. So there's been a couple people that say, "Oh, we want you in stores. We want this." And I'm like, not yet. Let me do it at my speed. So it's just as long as I can keep up with it, it's good. And I see that I'm able to take back like days and days off like my regular job. So I'm just kind of fading away. Not yet. I still need it. Don't cut my hours yet. But I'm just fading away so I can do this full time.
Okay, so you do see it. You want to turn this into your own brand, your own
Yeah.
manufacturing, and turn that into something.
Mm-hmm.
And
Me?
yes,
So with my YouTube, I actually document not just the interviews, but also my lifestyle. I do model, so there's one thing, there's one avenue. I also do photography. I'll record me doing photo shoots. So it's kind of like my platform of just who I am as an individual. I have so many different creative aspects to myself, and whatever takes off, like I hope they all take off in a manner that I can bounce around, be a freelancer on all my things.
All right, but my question is, can you see the potential of turning it into an actual small business venture?
Yeah, I can see myself having my own studio where I can have a space for my interviews and a space that it's all in one area, and a space for my photo shoots. Like I see that in my future, having that business, as well as turning those interviews into blog posts, and then hopefully turning it into a book talking about mental health, and actually using the quotes from the videos that are on my YouTube and create a book.
That's
so that's actually what I did. I used my podcast to create my first book, From College to COVID, 24 Lessons Learned During the Lockdown. So that was 5 lessons that I learned going from college to COVID, starting my entrepreneurial journey. Then I used 19 lessons from my podcast guests to make 24. So that's a really good idea.
Oh, you just gave me the chills. That's literally like, that's
such a good title.
Appreciate it, bro. The second one's on the way.
That's it. It's like everything has to intertwine for me. Like everything I do is with a purpose. So if I do a photo shoot, then who am I doing this photo shoot of, and what am I trying to get out of it, in a sense? Like it's making me happy, but also it's building my portfolio.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. So we're going to have Hassan ask a question as far as what are you doing with your finances? What are you doing with investing? Have you thought about that, and what does that look like for you? And if there's maybe a tip, you can tell them where to get started.
For sure, for sure. So I think one thing that is important that you said, Dylan, right?
Yeah.
It was something very important that you said, was that you still have your 9-to-5 job, but you have your side hustle about to turn into your main hustle still going. Is that the same for you, Bella?
Yeah, like I said, I work for the college, so it's online. I'm able to edit my videos as well as do my emails and everything I need to do. So I want to keep that balance. Plus, my job allows me to take classes to better myself in the career I want to be in.
Yeah, I think that's so important, especially for all the young entrepreneurs listening. Until your job can fully sustain you, until your business can fully sustain you, I would definitely recommend working at 9 to 5, and then from 6 to 12 doing your side hustle or whatever business that may be. 100%.
No, I feel that. The only problem that I think I have is sometimes like I'll be like working like for the clothing thing like all day, and I'll go to work and I'm like a server, and someone's like, I want a glass of water, and I'm like, get it yourself.
Where do you work?
I can't tell you. I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after.
Oh my goodness.
Confidentially. Like being that mindset, because I'm like, yeah, I just like crushed it for 12 hours doing this. I got a clock, and I'm like, psh.
So is it because you're tired?
No, I'm not tired.
Or are you getting a little bit overconfident there?
I'm too overconfident right now. I'm crushing. People are like, I love your clothes, and I'm like, and then these people are like, yeah, I want to order something. I was like, you don't know me.
So do y'all invest? What do y'all investments look like if y'all do?
So right now I'm reinvesting everything back in the company.
Makes sense.
But so Nick does real estate. That's my roommate, and we also have like a friend. So we kind of know like he has an Airbnb company that we're gonna start soon, and then it's just literally like duplexes, like all that stuff. We kind of know, you know, have a little house in the back and rent out the big house and stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is this: you're making the money. Are you putting anything aside to start building your wealth?
Yeah.
That's the question, yeah.
Yeah. So you, 50% goes back in the company, then 25% goes to me, and then the other 25% goes to investment.
Nice.
And that's genius. That's genius.
Is
That
everyone?
real estate is where it's at. That's what I want to do. I want to run up my speaking business, run it up with the books, getting them into high schools and colleges, and I'm taking that money and putting it into real estate. Because for us creatives, like we really depend on the audience. And if the audience one day, I don't like you anymore, and like somebody else, then like, what are we gonna do? So I feel like that real estate, stock investing, and then having an emergency fund for something to fall back on just in case, because you never really know when an emergency is gonna happen, but you do know when it's gonna happen sometime. So having that to fall back on is huge.
Does everyone here have started their investments already? Rayna? Yes, no?
No, I just save money. save
Okay.
money.
So we're gonna have a little chat. You're gonna have to chat with her, so we don't put money in the banks because they don't make any money. But where you can
Yeah,
put it,
I don't keep
so
my
your
money in the
can
bank.
make even if you put $25.
Yeah,
You
setting up
just have to start.
automatically.
You just have to get that muscle going. That okay, I'm gonna put this aside. It doesn't exist. And again, you guys are young. You know what $25 a week does in 10, 20 years? You don't even understand. It's amazing. Again, the stuff that you guys have that we didn't have is interesting.
What platforms do you recommend?
Fundrise. I know you know about Fundrise, Nick. No? Fundrise?
I'm honestly, I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay, so it's a
Fundrise?
real estate investing platform, and you can invest into real estate called REITs.
Okay,
Familiar
so
with REITs?
yeah, okay, so
Is
that's
this-
the one
is
where
this
you
like
do
a
like
joint?
fractional shares into these
this
like
fractional?
properties. Okay, yeah, I know,
So
what, I know what
basically,
you're talking about.
We talked about ETFs last time, which is basically a group of investments, a group of stocks. It's really the same thing, but with real estate. So it's REIT.
I like that.
REITs.
That's a good
So
idea.
you're able to avoid the fixing and flipping of doing real estate, the wholesaling, all the manual stuff. You can just invest into this property, into multiple groups of properties through Fundrise. So that's what I use. I also invest through M1 Finance. I used to invest with Schwab, but M1 Finance is more mobile friendly. So I think that would work better for us.
Bro, when I started M1 Finance, I was so confused. I was like, what is this? But it's like for like dividends and everything.
So,
Yeah,
so
stock
it's like
investors,
all of
dividends.
us.
Like
It's
stocks.
like
What
all
about
of us
the other
putting money, and we're kind of owning this building together. And when they sell, we just get our profits back. Is that how that works?
Yeah, so just continuously investing, and then your money's appreciating over time from the value that they're giving back. Because REITs are required to give dividends, which is
Yeah.
lit.
Dividends
Like,
is
they
always
have
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 90% of their profit has to be dividends,
What?
or revenue made has to be dividends.
Okay.
Mhm.
As whether they make profit.
Oh, it's real estate. They're gonna make profit.
It's always gonna be.
It's a lot
Real
of
estate is
conservative
always gonna.
investments, right?
Residential properties, commercial properties. Fundrise does really well. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
With Fundrise, is there a minimum amount that you have to invest into each fractional share? Like usually it's like $1,000 to $2,000.
Yeah, the minimum is 500. I
Okay.
did see a lot on the other platforms. It is like 1,000, but
Yeah.
good thing with Fundrise, it's about 500.
And this
Okay.
is dividends. This pays dividends out.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to look
Yeah,
into
they have
that.
to. They're required to pay dividends. So I think that's
Oh,
a huge
good.
move.
So
And then
that's
also a Roth IRA. is
So that
something
dividend also is more put aside and rebuilt on something
Yes.
else and keep building.
just like my man Dylan is reinvesting back into the business, reinvest your dividends back into
Back
that stock.
into the
so it
stock.
could just keep growing and growing.
Nice. You guys are gonna be millionaires. Oh my goodness, multi-millionaires.
I was about to say, yo, $1 million ain't getting you anything.
I just got
Yeah,
that
yeah,
at the
yeah.
beginning.
More money than
You guys
that.
gotta be multi-millionaires slash almost billionaires.
But
I'm
one
gonna-
thing that I'm seeing, Karina, here is that the cooperation and collaboration that could go on between you guys, because as a creative, everybody needs you, okay? Investments, financial literacy, everybody needs you, you know? So
Real
yes,
estate.
you are solo entrepreneurs, but think broader, think about how you support each other, you know, in sharing information, sharing expertise, sharing wisdom.
That's why I talk about networking in my YouTube, because like I can learn a lot from you, and I would love to
Same
interview
here.
you one day.
Yes.
So soon.
That is exactly what I
Yeah.
was
And
thinking.
he-
You would make
Right.
a perfect guest.
And
for
he
Hassan.
has,
And it's
he also has his podcast.
Platforms.
Yeah, same
Except-
here. It's co-elevation. That's what I like to call it.
Right. So
Yeah.
I
So
was
what's your podcast called?
right.
It's called FYI Fly, and what it stands for is for your information, financial literacy, and investing. So a little wordplay on the word fly.
I like that. Ours is called Beta Boys. It's not like as cool, but
Hey, I like it though. I like it.
I'm
Yes,
just
so-
under Bella Young.
This is-
'cause I'm my own brand.
Bella Young, we love that name. So yes, I was on your podcast, and we had a fun conversation then. And actually, we're going to take a little small break really fast, so we can we're kind of coming really fast to the end of the show, and it's so much fun. So let's go ahead and have a little commercial, and we'll be right back. And so we're at the top of the hour, and I'm going to go and let every one of my guests say one little shout out to our guests and audience that listen today, and just something positive for them to take home with them. Go ahead, Hassan.
All right, so thank y'all for listening here today. I want to leave y'all with something that has come up a lot of times in my interview, is just trial and error. Try a lot of different things, young or old, I don't care how old you are. try a lot of different things, and what works, double down on that, and what doesn't, don't ever do it again. That's what I want to leave y'all with. Check out my podcast, FYI Fly, on all streaming platforms, coming back in April for Financial Literacy Month. And I'm also dropping my second book, From College to COVID to Recession. Thank you so much, Corinne.
Thank you, Hassan.
I do strongly agree with you, and I think that, you know, you just got to go out there and just get the experience and live your life. And
As best as you can, right?
yeah.
Go,
I mean,
Rayna.
But yeah, you just gotta go out there in life, experience it, live life to the fullest. But yeah, I'm always looking for people to do makeup on. My Instagram is glammed by Rayna _. So yeah, just follow me.
Will do.
Yeah. So my Instagram is cafe_Nick. Follow me if you want help with real estate, whatever else. Come on the podcast, reach out. We'll get you going. Thank you.
Well, I just want to say Dylan had a lot of positive as far as his approach to business. And one thing I would say to you, like gentleman has said earlier, keep your 9 to 5, let it work, because that's coming in while you're working at your dream. And don't be afraid to fail. It's going to happen. So think positive, follow your gut instinct, and just go for it.
That was beautiful. Yo, just do something nice for someone random a day. That's all you gotta do. Put good energy out there, good energy will come back in.
Random act of kindness.
Random act of kindness. Love that.
And also be kind to yourself, especially when you're going through the process and failing. Negative self-talk will be your downfall. Also, follow me on Instagram, BellaYoung31, and my YouTube and multiple platforms under Bella Young.
Thank you
yeah, buy my
guys. You have been
clothes.
amazing.
Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to my channel Dr. Karina Felix for more videos.